Thank you for watching today. I'm Will Dabback from James Madison University in Virginia. I'll provide a short description of our study, and then Joanna Abril and Don Coffman will present our findings. The purpose of our research was to explore music participation through the framework of possible selves. Our participants were members of two New Horizons bands, one in Virginia and one in Florida. If you're unfamiliar with the New Horizons organization, you can find more information at newhorizonsmusic.org. Self-concepts extend both back and forward in time and influence judgments people make and the motivations they carry into activities. Some possible selves reflect ideas of what individuals would like to become. Others represent what they are afraid of becoming. These serve as incentives for future actions to achieve desired selves or to avoid feared selves. They also provide context for interpretation of self-conceptions and the evaluation of outcomes from actions. According to Frazier, Johnson, Gonzalez, and Kafka, the malleability of possible selves is important for older adults as they experience age-related health and social changes. If possible selves can be understood as underlying motivation to engage in ability maintenance, self-improvement, and the minimization of losses, as Frazier and her co-authors write, could New Horizons music members seek to maintain well-being and satisfy their needs by reframing their possible selves? I think society often views senior adults as having arrived at some fixed point rather than as continually developing human beings. Possible selves connect more to the past and future in seeking understanding of how participants define themselves and their growth as people and as musicians over time. The large majority of New Horizons participants return to music engagement after many years away. As they reclaim their musical identities, they seem to be reclaiming lost possible selves. Others are experimenting with new possible selves as they take up this type of music activity for the first time or challenge previous musical identities as other research has explored. Our participants included 9 members from Virginia and 11 members from Florida. In total, 9 males and 11 females ranging in age from their early 60s to those in their 80s participated in the research. Our qualitative approach involved purposeful, convenient sampling and semi-structured interviews to generate primary data. Interviews were digitally recorded and transcribed. We coded our respective transcriptions for intersected ideas and analyzed them to identify emergent themes. We then compared and created a synthesis of the separate analyses to refine coding categories, comparing codes within and across cases and identifying themes as they related to the possible selves framework.
Participants very often identified musical experiences in their lives that led them to join New Horizons. Unsurprisingly, elementary, middle, and high school experiences were formative in creating a personal relationship and identity through music. Formative experiences learning musical instruments set participants on a path of music making, though it was common for them to struggle to find opportunities to continue musical practice. Participants often learned about New Horizons from friends and family, but also from flyers and community events. While New Horizons provided some of them a chance to return to music making, most cited the social benefits of being part of the group. One member stated that music was more and more a social life than anything, and another echoed, that nice thing about the music is that you're doing it with somebody else, usually, and you're a part of something when you do it. Participants identified the significance making music has in their lives, commonly citing playing with others, creating a community for support and accompaniment, developing music skills and technical knowledge, and recollection of memories from where they were young. For most of them, the role they have within the ensemble and the ways in which they contribute are paramount and shape the engagement with the group. Mistakes are part of the experience, attributed to the lack of confidence and experience as well as their age. While some of them seem more forgiving of their mistakes, Others feel unsafe or rely on others to somehow fade the wrong notes. However, what seemed most important to participants is that they show commitment to making music and to improve their performance within the ensemble, which suggests that they see their work as a contributing to progress. Their continued difficulties are not above the love for music and the benefits they share through participation in this music community.
During our interviews, we asked band members to talk about themselves as people and as musicians. We've organized their responses within 3 broad questions. Who am I? What do I want to be? And how do others influence me? They often describe themselves by what they did or believed, and refer to their vocations, hobbies, roles in life, or their religion. Many of the players did not view themselves as musicians, believing that they were not skilled enough or focused enough to be called musicians. Some members felt that the band had helped them reclaim their musical identities, but a few remarked that music had always been central to their personhood. When asked, "Who do you want to be?" members sometimes mentioned character traits as they wished to pursue. Most members had modest musical aspirations of simply continuing to play in the band. Some wished to improve their skills. Playing in a band was a positive challenge for some, but frustrating for others, who acknowledged that they needed to accept their limitations. We probed the influence of others through multiple questions, such as, what motivates you as a musician? Having a sense of purpose, seeing improvement, and playing music with others were common responses. When asked, who affirms you as a musician? They mentioned family and friends, but more often identified others more musical than they, such as their directors and teachers or other players. Likewise, their role models included accomplished professional musicians, but also included musical parents and grandparents and other members of their bands. Our results indicate that playing in a band helped these individuals maintain and sometimes revive their possible selves. Their early musical experiences and significant others had influenced their pursuit of music making. All placed engaging with others and creating a community at the center of their band participation. Viewed through the lens of aging, New Horizons band participation supports conceptions of themselves as healthy, engaged older adults. Possible selves that they fear are futures in which they envision losing physical and mental abilities, and consequently losing the opportunity to engage with music and other people. Desirable possible selves are those futures that allow them to continue to contribute to the group, regardless of their potential growth as musicians. This research is perhaps particularly relevant in the age of COVID-19 because older populations are particularly vulnerable. New Horizons players have lost many of their opportunities to engage with others musically and socially. Although not part of this research, we wonder about the future impact of these separations on both desired and feared possible selves. In conclusion, possible selves that we observed in these amateur musicians involve a mixture of backward and forward reflection and suggest that we are all works in progress, no matter what the age. And on behalf of Will and Joanna, we thank you for your attention.